Number 10's Director of Communications resigning, quitting. Could Dominic Cummings, could Lord Frost be next? All sorts of rumours swirling around, guys. Going to bring you all the very latest in this report. But please, start off by hitting that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss future reports. Now, why does this matter? Frankly, normally, I couldn't give a damn about Westminster tittle-tattle. But this matters because, of course, consider where we are in the Brexit negotiations. We had Boris Johnson, Prime Minister, make the commitment on the 15th of October. If there wasn't a deal done or on the table with the EU, the UK would move on and assume no deal, assume that a deal wouldn't be done. But what the hell is going on? That date has come and gone, and still, seemingly, no deal in sight. Our negotiation is going to continue into December. What is going on inside Number 10? Well, what we know is that around Boris Johnson, you've had the likes of Dominic Cummings and this guy Lee Kane, who's the Director of Communications, who 1 minute was set to be promoted to Chief of Staff, and the next minute is resigning, is quitting from the operation completely. Now, this vote leave contingent, as they're referred to, actually fought for, that includes Dominic Cummings, of course, actually fought for Brexit, campaigned for leave. And I know some in the media like to say, well, there's no difference between people that fought for Brexit, that campaigned for leave, and those that campaigned for Remain, but now say they're in favour of Brexit. Well, I think there is. Especially at this critical juncture, during a critical phase of negotiation with the EU, where either it will roll over and cave into EU demands or walk away and secure a clean break. That is why this matters. Will Boris Johnson cave in on Brexit if the contingent of Brexiteers in his operation have their influence diluted, or in Lee Kane's case, are leaving altogether? Let's start off with the Times report on this. Boris Johnson's Director of Communications announced his resignation last night after the Prime Minister's fiancée and senior Number 10 advisors opposed plans to appoint him as Chief of Staff. Lee Kane said that after careful consideration, he would leave at the end of the year. Johnson thanked him for being a true ally and friend and praised his extraordinary service. His departure will add speculation, the Times report, that Dominic Cummings, the Prime Minister's most senior advisor, could also leave. He was said to be very unhappy about Mr. Kane's departure. It came after an extraordinary clash to promote Mr. Kane to Chief of Staff in a move that would have entrenched the influence of vote leave in Downing Street. Alex Wickham, London Playbook on Politico.com. How vote leave lost control. Now you can see why perhaps Brexiteers have a right to be worried about all this. Boris Johnson faces the fallout, Alex Wickham reports, from the stunning resignation of Downing Street's Director of Communications, Lee Kane, last night, with questions over the long-term future of the Prime Minister's chief aide, Dominic Cummings, and the conduct of senior figures in Johnson's Number 10 operation. After a genuinely astonishing day of bitter and public infighting at the top of government, Cabinet ministers and senior advisors are warning that Johnson must put down an unprecedented insurrection from the vote leave faction that until yesterday ruled Downing Street. The context, according to multiple sources across government, is that over the past few weeks, as ministers battled the second wave of coronavirus pandemic and the UK hurtled towards its Brexit endgame, relations behind the scenes between Johnson, Cummings, Kane and other senior Number 10 aides have become fractured to the point of total breakdown. But it was Johnson's decision last month to appoint Treasury advisor Allegra Stratton as his new TV press secretary that caused tensions to boil over. According to Number 10 officials who spoke to Playbook, Kane, whose idea it was to introduce American TV briefings, had wanted to go to slightly less prominent face, BBC journalist Ellie Price. Johnson overruled him, choosing the more high-profile Stratton in a significant blow to Kane's authority. Then on Tuesday night, the Times' Francis Elliott dropped a bombshell, reporting with certainty that Johnson had decided to appoint Kane as Chief of Staff, but the reality was very different. Playbook revealed on Wednesday morning that in fact no decision had been taken, and then all hell broke loose. As Tom Newton Dunn reports, Dominic Cummings is, I am told, very unhappy about Lee Cain's departure. He is talking to the PM shortly tonight. That was last night. His resignation now said to be 50-50. And just remember, when it comes to Dominic Cummings, by the way, just remember that ridiculous media witch hunt to try and get him out. Tom Newton-Dunn going on to say, I'm told that it's not over with Dominic Cummings' situation. He stayed on after a tense meeting with the Prime Minister last night. He made his feelings known and apparently also threatened to resign and may still yet in coming weeks. What is clear now is that power has shifted. Lisa O'Carroll reporting, wow, BBC reporting speculation that other departures may follow Lee Cain, potentially Cummings, and whispers about Brexit negotiator David Frost. Now, it should be pointed out, as Jessica Parker has tweeted, government sources say Lord Frost is staying in post. But this is a live issue as to whether Brexiteers at the most senior levels in government stay or whether they are forced out or they quit. Conservative Home pressing home that point. Will Cummings quit? It's Carrie Symonds versus Vote Leave as tensions over the government's future explode. And just to bring it back finally to why this all matters, we are at a critical moment. Yes, we've left the EU, but are we going to sign up to a sellout deal? Are we going to sign up to the EU's level playing field with these sort of EU constraints put upon this country? Are we going to sell out the British fishing industry and coastal communities with the EU's hardline demands on fisheries? This is the critical moment. Are we going to sign up to a bad deal, or are we going to walk away with no deal? Spectator, Boris won't be forgiven if his number 10 chaos makes him cave on Brexit. Any lack of concentration now, any vague wording in a subsequent deal, or a system in which disputes are judged by the EU's own apparatus, will guarantee further trouble. To give in now for the sake of a short-term political fix will ensure longer-term problems. The electorate gave Johnson a mandate to walk away if he cannot negotiate a decent deal. He will not be forgiven for botching things now. It is in that context that the internal battle seemingly going on at the top level of the government matter. Will Brexiteers who have campaigned with Boris Johnson for years and helped him secure that big Brexit majority, will they retain influence? Will they stay in place? Or like Lee Cain, will they be forced out? Will they quit? Will they resign? Let me know what you make of all of this, guys. One thing is for sure, and I keep going back to it, the 15th of October, Boris Johnson said if a deal wasn't in place, the UK would walk away and go no deal. That hasn't happened. Why not? And will Dominic Cummings and Lord Frost remain in their roles? We'll have to see. If you found this report helpful and informative, guys, please help me out with a big thumbs up. Click the join button if you want to become a supporter of the channel. And of course, as ever, thank you so much for watching.